All right, so let us get started now. Once again, I would like to welcome all of you to this session today, wherein we'll have a look into some of the top e-commerce business strategies to outperform in 2022. By the way, I'm Mobin Varghese, and I look into business development here at Sigma. I'm sure it will be an interesting and fruitful session for all of us. First of all, let me introduce our panelists for the day. First up, we have Neeraj Gupta. Neeraj heads the entire e-commerce practice at Sigma. He's very passionate about new and emerging technologies. He manages complex programs and encourages the team to grow professionally. So he has been in the industry for over 25 years now and has worked at companies like Dell, Motorola, Infosys, and L&T, to name a few. We also have Kanchan Agarwal on the panel today.
Hi.
Kanchan leads the delivery of e-commerce implementations at Sigma, which include both B2B as well as B2C rollouts and growth strategy for our clients. She has over 12 years of experience and has also played roles in product management, managing business, and technology discoveries, building roadmaps, etc. So both of these people will be able to add a lot of value to the session today. But before I hand it over to Neeraj and Kanchan, let me give you all a quick overview on what Sigma is all about. So Sigma has been in the industry for 17 years now, serving as a trusted IT partner to startups and enterprises alike. We are headquartered in Irvine, California, with multiple development centers in India. We are a team of about 350 technocrats. Sigma is a certified Adobe solution partner as well as a Shopify partner with over 250 e-commerce projects delivered globally till date. From a quality and security standpoint, we are ISO 9000, 27000, and SOC Type 1 and Type 2 certified. So that's about Sigma in a nutshell. So without wasting further time, let's get into the session. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thanks, Mobin, and thanks everybody for joining in. So as you all know, like e-commerce has become a very critical part of the business these days, right? So most of you may be already running their own e-commerce stores currently, or maybe planning to have one, right? So these strategies are definitely going to help you to improve your conversions, and it can go up to anywhere from like 0 to 250% more gain you can gain, right? And also you can witness like growth in your traffic by applying those strategies, which we are going to be discussing. You can also kind of provide the better experience to your B2B and B2C customers by applying some of those strategies. So what you can expect from this 1 hour session, which you all invested today. So these are some of the things like which we would like to kind of discuss in today's session. So like we will be talking about the best practices, which we feel is kind of really required for any e-commerce store to look at and implement if it is relevant to them. We'll also talk about the new normal, because as you all know, like after the pandemic, things have changed drastically, especially in e-commerce, because people started buying virtually and like many things have changed in B2B and B2C worlds. We'll talk about some of those strategies which can play a key role in our growth. We'll also talk about the customer expectations, because things have changed drastically and customers expect the same kind of experience what they have in the store. So there are certain technologies which are available handy now, so which can be leveraged to really make use of those things and increase our respective sale on the e-commerce stores. So we'll take all these things one by one. And so we'll start with the best practices, and I'll invite my colleague Kanchan to take us through a couple of those strategies. Over to you, Kanchan.
Thank you, Neeraj. Hello, everyone. E-commerce personalization in customers' journey. Rather than being bombarded with a variety of products, customers these days, they prefer personalized experiences. They want their favorite brands and websites to be as familiar with them as they are with the brand. Customers, they feel appreciated when brands provide a personalized user experience by demonstrating what they like and putting in efforts to make their life easier. Around 77% of the customers, they anticipate personalization and they become upset when brands fail to deliver them. Brands like Amazon, they are already high in bar with respect to personalization. and a new approach is required to compete. And brands also realize that one size fits all solutions can no longer meet the customer's demand. Hyper-personalization is the new norm in 2022, which only artificial intelligence can provide. Brands, they can gain the valuable insights into their potential customers, and they can accordingly adjust their marketing strategies by using Google Analytics and several other tracking tools like Adobe Analytics, SEMrush, to analyze the customer's behavior patterns and interactions with the online store. They can also gather data from the social media platforms. You can see that 84% of the companies, they believe that personalization has a positive impact on the customer's loyalty and the purchase journey. There are various ways which you can use to boost the e-commerce personalization by sending customized offers and product suggestions, which can be based on customers' purchase history, browsing activities, interests, and other personal information. And these are some of the successful ways which you can use to increase the conversions. Product suggestions can be shown in the form of similar products in the cart based on the previously purchased items. Another strategy for expanding the personalization can be by gathering the customer feedback subsequent to making a purchase, which permits brands to add social evidence into their marketing campaigns. 85% of the customers, they have purchased the products online because of the personalized shopping cart recommendations. Magento has out-of-box feature of customer segmentation, which based on some conditions allows brands to provide personalized banners and related products to those segments. You can see here that these are some of the examples of e-commerce personalization. Products you recently viewed and customers also like section are some of the common recommendations that are used by the brands into their product pages. You can also see that the customer is viewing a tank top and they have been shown recommendations of matching shoes and pants. The continue shopping section, it remembers the customer's selected items through the previous sessions, which makes it easier for them to pick up right from where they have left off. Moving on. Buy now, pay later model is now on trend. These model allows customers to buy the products on installment plans, and they are growing very much popular in the United States. Because these BNPL agreements, they are often interest-free. Customers, they prefer to use it over the credit card payments. Instead of using this regular credit cards, younger generations, they follow the practice to use this model to save money, purchase clothes, and they stay up with their friends. In this graph, you can see that the number of BNPL users in the United States is expected to rise from 45.1 million in 2021 to 76.6 million in 2025. And in terms of percentage of online users, it is expected to rise from 17.9% in 2021 to 29% in 2025, which is really a huge number. As online shopping has increased throughout the pandemic, more business and payment providers, they started adopting this model as it reduces the rate of cart abandonment, increases the order value by increasing sales, and it speeds up the checkout process. This BNPL model, it also provides numerous other benefits. It is affordable and convenient payment service, and it allows instant credit card fund transfer service. It increases the personal information security, and it also enables customers to make secure payments without even swiping the debit card. BNPL model is now on trend, And if you have not adopted yet, this is the right time for you.
Okay, thank Kanchan for covering those aspects. I'm sure it will be useful for all of our audience today. So there's a quick poll which we expect for participants to kind of give the feedback so that we see like where you stand in your journey of these things, right, on BNPL and other items. So if you can have the poll now, yeah. So a lot of responses are coming in. Let's wait for some more seconds and then we will display the results as well. Okay, so here is the feedback from all of our participants today. So there are, I think, answers from each category, like they want to reduce the cart abandonment by using BNPL. They feel like their customer lifetime value will increase, and some feel like both will help, which is good thing, and some feel like it may not be relevant, which is true as well because BNPL is not for everybody. It's like for specific businesses. So if it is not relevant, definitely you will not go for it. So thanks for your participation into this particular poll. So now moving to the next section, as we kind of discussed and covered a few points from the previous two strategies. So we want to move on to kind of see like how the new normal has changed the way the e-commerce is kind of coming up and the customer expectations from the new normal, which is emerged after the COVID. So over to you, Kanchan.
Yeah, the growth of B2B e-commerce. So after the COVID-19 outbreak, most of our focus was on B2C e-commerce. But it is very important that we do not overlook the B2B e-commerce, which has benefited greatly for the very first time. 96% of the B2B purchasers who used this online method during the pandemic, they mentioned that they would continue doing so even though the things turns to normal. In this graph, you can see that nearly 65% of the B2B companies across the different industries, they now offer end-to-end e-commerce capabilities, which is up from 53% in early 2021. Spurred by this massive wave in digital adoption over the past 2 years, these B2B companies are more likely to offer the e-commerce channels rather than in-person selling. 74% of the buyers, they conduct the online research for at least half of their B2B purchase. With 50% of the B2B buyers now looking for personalized B2C experiences, commercial vendors need to embrace advanced data and AI strategies and technologies to provide seamless experiences to the individual buyers. This is the time for the B2B sales leaders to start planning and investing in building a marketplace, as it is now a key purchasing gateway for many corporate buyers. These are a couple of B2B websites selling items which are not commonly seen, like electrical and plumbing supplies, chemicals, and hardware products. Moving on to the rise in social commerce and influencer marketing. With more and more users now being engaged into the social media, this social commerce is becoming increasingly popular. After Instagram released its shopping capabilities and Facebook, it created the buy button, customers can now directly purchase through the social media. That is, the customers can now check out inside the application itself. We can see that last year, social commerce accounted for $30 billion in sales in the US alone, and it is expected to grow to $3.37 trillion in revenue by 2028. With the introduction of this purchase button on additional social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, these online merchants, they now began to include social selling into their marketing tactics so that they can broaden their reach to specific groups of people. Brands, they can increase their social media visibility as various activities on social medias now affect people's everyday lives and their shopping habits. You can see that reading the user comments, viewing ads, reviews, association with brands are some of the activities which influence the customer's shopping behavior. Another approach to expanding the business visibility on social media channels would be by establishing the collaborations with the influencers. Facebook and YouTube are some of the popular sites for working with social media influencers. 89% of the marketers, they believe that influencer marketing delivers a return on investment that is equivalent to or better than the other channels. This influencing marketing is really a very good approach to appeal directly to either an existing or the new target audience if merchants can build a partnership with them.
Thanks, Kanchan, for covering that. And here we have another poll for our participants to kind of see like what they gain from their B2B e-commerce. So can we have the poll now? Still responses are coming in, so give us some more time. Okay, so here are the results. Like we see, like a lot of people are getting more than 25%, which is a very good sign to get more than 25% sale onto your B2B store, which is a great thing to see. And for some, like we see it is less than 25%, we can definitely help to see what more can be done to increase that to more than 25%. And for some, definitely B2B is not relevant, and few people have shown interest to kind of add B2B e-commerce. So we are willing to help, and you can reach out to us and we can take it forward from there on. Thanks for your participation in this particular poll. Okay. So moving on to the next section of this particular presentation, where we're going to be talking about the customer expectations and what are the tools and techniques which are available handy to us as the e-commerce owners, as the e-commerce agencies, which we can leverage on a day-to-day basis and increase our particular scale. So over to Kanchan now to cover a couple of these aspects.
Virtual try-on and augmented reality e-commerce is now on trend. We all know that e-commerce business increased throughout the pandemic, but there is still some friction in the online buying process, which only augmented reality and virtual reality can help to alleviate. These technologies, they help customers to rapidly explore products, try them on before making a purchase at the comfort of their homes, and gives customers a realistic shopping experience. These try-on button, it triggers the mirror and puts the product on the customer's photos or directly on their face in the live camera version. These try-on apps were earlier very much popular in the fashion industry, and there are now options available for cosmetics, furnishings, accessories, and even eyeglasses. Virtual try-on has provided a sweet feeling of relief to the fashion and beauty business as they were unable to demo their products offline throughout the pandemic. Augmented reality is continuously expanding, and by 2024, it would be close to $300 billion. 8 out of 10 customers, they feel that augmented reality or virtual reality would somewhat or very likely improve their shopping experience. These VR and AR technologies try before you buy capabilities. It allows the customers to interact with the product, see the product from different angles, and actually try it on virtually before making a purchase, which gives them a confidence in their buying decision. It in turn reduces returns and minimizes the need to purchase many copies of the same product. We can see that conversion rates increased by 90% for customers who are engaged with augmented reality technologies. In this graph, you can see that 2.2 billion users using this augmented reality technology in 2022, which is expected to increase to 4.3 billion in 2025. And the age group using this most is between 26 to 41. Since the future of the shopping industry is virtual, it is very important that business owners integrate the AR technology into their e-commerce store. You can see some examples of virtual try-on apps being integrated into the eyeglasses, cosmetics, fashion, and electrical fitting industries. Moving on to the new age and growth of voice commerce. This e-commerce business pattern is really growing up. This voice technology-based gadgets and voice search. After Amazon began creating its Alexa voice remote, and later Google presented the Google Assistant, many online buyers, they are now looking for voice-based online browsing. 71% of the consumers, they prefer to use voice assistants to search for something. Alexa, please play this song for me. Isn't it a daily scenario? These voice assistants can perform the task for you just by a simple voice command, thereby reducing your efforts and making your life easier. According to the voice bot research, around 20.5 million individuals in the United States had used voice to shop for a product at least once in 2018. And in 2021, that number increased to 45.2 million, which represents a 120% increase. You can simply order anything from the e-commerce store just by a simple voice command, which in turn replaces the multiple steps the customers need to follow while ordering. Continuous interactions with the voice assistants, it also provides data on customer interactions, which in turn helps in creating a personalized experience for your customers. Improvising the site content for voice questions and supporting the page load speed are some of the important activities to prepare your site for voice recognition. One of the major reasons for the growth in voice commerce is simply the availability of smart speakers. Alexa, Siri, Google Assistant, and other similar smart speakers, they have become almost a necessity in households as the television sets. 55% of the American households will own a smart speaker in 2022, and by 2023, there will be 8 billion voice assistants in use. 60% of the companies, they are already planning to implement voice strategy in the next 5 years. If your customers are on the voice-based assistance, it is worth the investment to have the voice feature in your e-commerce store. E-commerce is continuously growing, and hence it is very important for merchants to understand these trends and incorporate those that are most beneficial to their brand and business strategies. Keep watching your competitors, pay attention to the new methods they use to reach out to the customers, and then prioritize it accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Kanchan, for covering those aspects, and I'm sure it is quite useful for all our participants today. So there's a quick poll to kind of gather some feedback from our participants. So can we have a poll now? So still a lot of feedback is coming in, so give us a moment.
Meanwhile, you could also send in your questions, if any, so that we can address them during the Q&A session. You can send in your questions either using the chat or through the Q&A option.
Okay, so here is some feedback from our participants. So we'll be happy to connect with the folks who would like our e-commerce experts to review their web stores and see what more can be done to enhance their sale. We'll be happy to connect offline and take it forward. Some would like to know more about Sigma. We'll be happy to share our corporate presentation to showcase our capability, what we have. And definitely some people don't need any help as of now. They can keep us in mind and reach out to us whenever they need any help related to e-commerce aspects of it. So yeah, so Kanchan has covered kind of the 6 strategies. These are a quick summary of it, right? Which you can see we talked about personalization and how it impacts the sale. We all feel happy when we see our names are kind of mentioned in our respective stores where we do the purchases. And it also understands our purchase histories and it recommends the products which are of our liking. So it is definitely help us to buy more and more from those sites. It encourages us to kind of go back to those websites, visit and see what is new, what is relevant for us. And that way we can definitely increase our sales. So this is definitely something which cannot be ignored. And we have seen those substantiated with the great numbers, which was shown as part of the presentation. We also talked about buy now, pay later. This is definitely something which, especially when younger generation look forward to buy something, even if they don't have the money upfront, they don't want to swipe their card as well. So they can leverage these new methods of payments, which will definitely increase the sale on your respective web stores. We also saw like B2B is like earlier it was there, but after pandemic, things have drastically changed and more people want to go online and kind of product what we saw as an example, people are selling electrical fittings to chemicals to whatnot as a B2B e-commerce side. So this is something which cannot be ignored by the very conventional businesses also. And we have seen with our implementation, like kind of growth, which our customers have seen with their online presence by using the B2B capabilities. We also saw like social commerce, which is definitely we all use social websites and we we become part of various ads and which we see like what is happening around us, and there is a kind of way to purchase from those channels as well, right? There's a buy now button and all that available on Facebook and other medias. So we can look at that if it is relevant to your respective businesses. AR and VR, I think we saw some of the examples. It helps us to reduce the returns. In turns, it helps us to have the better kind of, our profitability is better. So returns are less is always useful for any e-commerce or business owners, right? So we can leverage those technologies. We also saw like how people are becoming more and more comfortable using the voice-based search and voice-based kind of ordering mechanisms onto various websites. So that is something which cannot be ignored. And if it is, if any of these or if many of these are kind of relevant to you, feel free to kind of implement that with your respective agencies. If you need any help, we are there to help you out with any of these implementations. Yeah, so that is pretty much covers the summary part of it, and we are happy to take any questions from it now.
Yeah, thanks, Neeraj. So we do have a few questions coming in. So there are a couple of questions related to voice search. So I would rather club them together. So Karen is asking, I want to implement voice search. How do I get it done on my e-commerce store? And the second part of the question is how easy it is to implement, use voice search on desktop.
Okay. Kanchan, you want to take up that question?
Yes, thank you, Mobin. So this voice search implementation is not that difficult. There are plugins available for Magento and Shopify and across other e-commerce platforms as well. 4 to 5 plugins which I am already aware of is the voice search by Elsner, voice search by Magento Marketplace, Alexa integration for Magento 2 by Webcool, and Expert Track Shopify voice search, which we can also customize to see the look and feel. So it's not difficult. The paid plugins are already available.
Okay. And just to add, like definitely there is a more and more interest from our existing customers as well. Wherever it is relevant, they would like us to look for those options, make it enabled on their website. So that is something which our team has been doing for last few months as well. So this is gaining momentum, and like as Kanchan mentioned, there are many options available. We can look at what is the specific use case for which kind of interest you want to implement this one, and we are happy to assist on those integrations.
Great, thanks for that, Neeraj and Kanchan. We have a general question. Are these trends specific to some geography, or do they hold good for someone like us who operate in the European market? The question is from Ben.
Okay. Thanks, Mobin. I'll take up that question. So basically these trends, what we have shown is primarily the data point which we have shown is from US, but it is definitely relevant to any geography. We have seen like our clients are spread all over the place. We keep getting these kind of requests. We keep discussing with them these trends, and they also can relate to these things. So we have seen that thing is there in Europe and Asian countries as well. So it is, the data is specific to the US geography, but the trends are all over the place. So we cannot really ignore these trends into any other geography where our participants are.
Okay. Thanks, Neeraj. So one question around the BNPL. Sarah is asking, will all my shoppers get approved for BNPL?
Okay. So basically for BNPL, one need to register into the website, and based on the credit history and all that, it's a kind of one-time activity once you create your account into BNPL portal. Then based on the credit history, you will be allowed to do the purchases, and as long as your credit history remains same or better, you'll not have any issues in terms of any declines on the payments related to BNPL.
Okay, got it. Mike is asking, is personalization a one-time work, or do we need to do something on an ongoing basis?
Kanchan, you want to take a shot on this one?
Yes. So personalization is a one-time work. You either integrate some artificial intelligence tools, or you can use the Magento out-of-the-box feature. But definitely it is a one-time tool. If you want to display the multiple other sections which you are not using it in your website, you can keep adding those as and when you feel.
Yeah, so that is like integration, right? Is a one-time activity, but you need to see the results. You need to keep looking at the outcomes, what we have, because there are many options available to do the A/B testing, which are the tools provide those capabilities where you can try out few things, few experiments and see the outcomes. And based on that, you decide to roll out those features or those options into your website. So it is implementation, it is one time, but you need to keep monitoring and keep improving so that way you can get the better results from this personalization. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Neeraj and Kanchan. Ishan is asking, do you have other webinars coming up? Ishan, I'll take that question. We do webinars on a quarterly basis. When we are finalizing the next one, we'll keep everybody in this audience informed about the same. Another question that we have is from Alexander. Alexander wants to know, is B2B e-commerce generally for getting new clients, or do you see value in rolling it out for existing customers as well?
Okay, so I'll take that question, Mohammed. So basically B2B e-commerce is definitely to kind of scale up your business, reach out to more people, increase your sale by having the online presence and where people can see your prices and catalog and everything. Definitely that is one of the advantage. But you can also kind of use this for the existing customer to automate your processes, make it more efficient, right? So you can have your existing customer move from the conventional way of ordering to the online ordering, so that way it's convenient for them also to, they need not call you to find out the kind of what quantities are available, what are the rates available to them. And there are many capabilities available in B2B commerce wherein you can kind of do the customer segmentation, you can give their special pricing to them. So you not really worry like who's calling you and what price needs to be given to them. It can very well taken care by the technology and without any human intervention. You can also kind of an option to kind of submit the code, get the code, negotiate. There are many features which can be leveraged for existing customers as well as for the new customers. And as I said, like for the better order management and better kind of inventory management as well. So it is something which helps you to grow your business, acquire new clients, as well as provide a better and seamless services to your existing clients as well. Both ways.
Thanks, Neeraj, for explaining that. Maya Sab is asking, what are the AI beauty tools that could be integrated to Shopify?
So, Kanchan, you want to take a shot on this one?
Yeah, so currently, I'll discuss it with my technical team on the beauty tools that they are integrating into the Shopify platforms, and I'll come back to you on this question.
Okay. Yeah, so there are many things available. We need to understand what is specific use case which we would like to handle. And as we said, like there are many options available, and we have seen some of those things. So once we know the specific use case, we're happy to help on those areas.
Okay. So I have one last question that has come up. Do you guys offer any services around analytics from my website? Mike wants to know that.
Yeah, so and again, analytics has many dimensions to that. Many things are specific to e-commerce also. So there are many kind of tools available within the platform also, which provides various analytics. And like some are out of the box wherein we can use as is. And if you have any specific needs, it can be customized as well. And we also, as a company, we work on various the AI and BI tools, right? So we can definitely see what is the specific need which you have, and if you have to integrate any of the other tools which are not meeting your expectation currently from the existing stores, whatever, whether you're using Magento or Shopify or any other e-commerce platform, we can look at that and implement those tools as well. So our team has the capability to see, and with our e-commerce expertise, we can see where it fits in and what is the right way to get those tools in place.
Sure. Thanks, Neeraj. So yeah, those were the questions that we had. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Please feel free to send in your questions. So we have a couple more minutes. By the way, thank you, Neeraj and Kanchan, for this wonderful session. It was quite insightful, and I'm sure that it would be useful for our audience today.